OK, well, the next day on Sunday, it's Collingwood and Essendon in a huge Anzac Day. I know they're not great in ladder positions.
Go Pies!
The ramifications are huge in this one. The loser is 1-5. The winner's still in it at 2-4, Ross.
Yeah, and I think it's about context. Yeah. Collingwood really declared we want to be a top 4 team. I still think that they got improvement in it. I liked what happened last week with their effort and some tweaks and positional shifts that we'll get to. But Essendon are young, hungry. They've got injuries, but they've got a young group that are going to really rise to the occasion, I hope. I want to discuss Jeremy Howe. So he's done his hamstring last week, the week that they threw Darcy Moore forward. Yeah. So I think we differ here. I would keep Darcy Moore forward and go after the Bombers' small defence, but what would you do? Well, you clearly never sat in the seat and walked into a press conference, Lloydie.
So you're standing back.
I think, look, they were bold last week. The three-headed monster, the Eagles, Darling, Kennedy, Oscar Allen. But when Howe went down, I just think they lost by 4 goals. I think their inexperienced defence gave up more than 4 goals. You need stability. And I think if they move the ball different and flow and pass it in...
So you're bringing Cox in and sending more back?
No, I'm not saying Cox is in. I don't really care. But they need, with Howe going down, I think on the biggest stage, and he holds them up and counter punches, like Richmond. They score from the back half. If he moves the ball quickly, he can help them score.
Ed, the defensive coach is sending him back. What are you doing?
I'm sending him back and I'm putting Cox at full forward.
OK, great. All right, well... The inexperienced Bombers, OK? So we look at this. So last round, their average age, they were second, so 24 years of age, average games, bottom, and there was a poor performance up at the Gabba.
Well, yeah, it was a poor, but they're inconsistent young teams. You tell me, Lloydie, you've played 13 Anzac days. How are they going to handle the big stage? What's the challenge?
I think they were down last week, so I think they'll get up for this one because why wouldn't you? Kevin Sheedy used to debut players, Ross, on this day because he felt that it was worth 8 games of home and away experience to 1 regular game because you're the only game on the day, the scrutiny around it, the build-up. It was bigger than a final half the time.
Well, there's nowhere to hide. No. 80,000, 100,000 MCG. It's a small oval. They're all looking down on you. You need to stand up. I agree with you. It's worth its weight in gold. But my advice is... You know, you need to try and gather yourself, train hard, get excited, but then just level yourself out. Find some quiet time, a bit of mindfulness. Just get yourself set and execute your role. That's the best advice. Everyone go out and play their role.
I think Collingwood's biggest X factor to win this game is Brodie Grundy, and we talk about him a lot, but he'll come up against Peter Wright. So if ever Brodie Grundy is going to have a day out and should get the 3 Brownlow votes and give his team ascendancy, Ross, this is it, because Peter Wright has been drowning, I think, in that ruck role since Draper's gone out.
Yeah, look, really, he's been a key forward. Yeah. It's a really difficult role. He needs to be big, he needs to be physical, but I'd like the variety and get some movement and some attacking. Come out the front of the centre circle and not out the back. It's the time to do it, isn't it? It is the time to be aggressive. Ed, I can see you over there.
I've got my hands up here. Can I ask you guys? Grundy has been built up against a lamppost in recent times and can't get over the top in the end. Would you put Cox in against 2 metre Peter for the opening and then let Grundy run him off his feet around the ground? Yeah, I like the model. Share it up. Get your hand to the ball. Get Cox, as long as he can get his hand to it, and then let Grundy run and take some physical battering. I love what he did last week. 10 metres out from goal. They were kicking into position 1 last week and he looked super dangerous. And the young fella will really struggle to handle that. So, Ross, but be aggressive.
And you like the next month for Collingwood if they can win this one on Anzac Day.
Yeah, I said that last week. I liked their form last week. I thought they had a red-hot go. They were unlucky. They lost to Goey. They lost Howe. They were in that game. And the inexperienced backs against the 3-headed monster over there. But I think they can... I said it last week. I think they can get the 4-4 and set their season up and get going with some numbers coming back.